Hi, it's October the 2nd, 2017, and this is Wes Fryer with just a few lessons that I have learned and we have learned at Cassidy School managing iPads with mobile device managers, or MDMs. I'm going to go ahead and just jump out of this presentation and first off point out that mobile device management is something that is really essential for mobile devices at schools, and there are a variety of different mobile managers. We are using a mobile manager called TabPilot currently. This is our second mobile device management platform. We started out with Meraki, which we really love for our wired and wireless networks, but TabPilot was considerably less expensive and has been designed specifically for schools, and that's a huge advantage. And so what I'd like to just briefly do is just show you a few things about it. So here in TabPilot, I log into the dashboard, and what we're actually doing is using Apple configurator software to just add two things. When you are in TabPilot as an administrator, you will create what are called device groups. And so, for instance, this is a device group for our elementary kids or for lower division students. And I can download this profile. And so ideally, you're going to use something called Apple DEP, which is the device enrollment program that Apple has. And they've got this for education as well as for business. And when you purchase an iPad with DEP, you can automatically have your mobile device management certificate as part of what's already saved on the device. So one way or the other, by either purchasing it from Apple and having it preloaded, or by using Configurator 2. Apple Configurator 2 is software that runs on your Apple computer. It doesn't run on a Windows computer. And the disadvantage is that if you're putting your mobile device management on this way, students can actually remove it. And if you remember a few years ago when Los Angeles Unified School District had all this controversy with students being able to, they said, hack their iPads. They weren't really hacking them, but they were able to remove the management. That's avoided if you use the DEP in order to put your mobile management. But anyway, you're going to go ahead and put that on one way or the other. The other thing that we do through Apple Configurator is just put our Wi-Fi password. I guess you don't really even need to do that. You can do that also through your manager. And what I'm going to basically just show quickly is what process can be followed to put apps on. So here I've got about 120 different apps that are loaded, and you want to go ahead and use Apple's volume purchase program for education. You have to use a separate Apple ID that you'll log in with, and you will make purchases of apps, even if it's a free app. So something that you're going to use like, we use Shadow Puppet EDU as a great program, Shadow Puppet EDU, for having students create narrated slideshows. It's free, but you can go ahead and get 100, 500 copies, whatever, but you're going to, quote, purchase that so that it then shows up over here under TabPilot as available licenses. Then you can silently push those apps to your iPads, and you don't have to have Apple IDs on individual devices that you're managing. For instance, we have shared devices in our libraries and classrooms and things like that. So as an example, actually earlier today, one of our, if I can spell right, one of our teachers had requested this app, Tinker for School, and this is a paid app, so we had to actually purchase this, but it's just for the 6 iPads that are in her classroom. And so when you put in the quantity here, a lot of times if you're over 20, you'll get a discount. It'll be like half price. This Tinker app doesn't have that. But because we purchased that, now when I search for that, I'm going to see Tinker right here. And so I've actually assigned this, and the way that I did it was I selected the app and I clicked assign. And so you can assign things to device groups. You can also assign them to classes, and that's what I did in this case, is I assigned it to a particular class. The other thing you can do is you can add it to a screen layout so that you can decide how the apps are actually appearing for students. And so over here there's a link called classes, and for instance this is the class that has those 6 iPads, and you can see a list of apps that are installed for that particular class. And so over on the screen layouts page, that's where you're able to pick a background image that you want to have for those iPads, and also decide how you want them to appear on home screens. And for instance, I put that Tinker app here inside the coding folder, so it would be with the other coding apps. But I can actually drag that around if I would want to. I could move that. I'll leave it there. And when I want to, and here's the dock, right? So all of these are the only apps that are being shown to students. Everything else, the iTunes Store, the photo booth app, Find Friends, things that the students, don't need to use and might get distracted with, we can just hide those so they're not even visible at all for students. And then when I want to activate that, TabPilot provides something called Teacher Tools, and so I can select that class, or actually the teachers can do this as well because they're given the right to do this. They can then have access for over their iPads, and then they can choose if they want to turn off the screen layout or then activate it. And so we'll go ahead and activate it and tell it to not expire. And so now any changes that I made are going to be reflected on those iPads. There's other features and things like that you can do, but the only other main one that we're using right now and experimenting with is called app requests. And so teachers can actually add a request for an app that they like to have in their classroom or on their shared iPads. They can, write down the reason why they'd like that, and it has a link to the app and just facilitates this process of making requests and keeping track of that. So I hope that has been helpful to you. If you're interested in getting in touch with me, I am W. Fryer on Twitter, or you can go to my website, wesfryer.com, click the contact link or /contact, and you can get in touch with me there. So hope this has been helpful, and I definitely recommend that you check out TabPilot because it has certainly been a great platform for us and has made the management of our iPads much, much easier than it would be otherwise.